Hey everyone and welcome back. Now in the earlier video we were discussing about the basics of redundancy zone and how with the help of this specific feature, even if one of the primary voter server goes down, then the autopilot can automatically bring the non-voter server associated with that zone to be part of the cluster. So in today's video we'll go ahead and implement it and look into the configurations that are required. Now, for this specific practical, there will be 3 instances of Consul that will be required. 3 among them will be for voter and 3 among them would be for non-voter. So total 6 would be required. Now looking into the notes section here, I already have the configuration and everything available here. So let's look into the new changes. So at this stage, the highlighted changes are something that we already know. So what we do here is we add an additional node underscore meta where we specify a zone. So in this case, the value associated with the zone is zone 1. So similar to this diagram, the value associated with the Consul 01 is zone 1, 02 would be zone 2, 03 will be zone 3, 04 again zone 1, 05 zone 2, 06 zone 3. So I hope you understood the basics here. So that is defined under the node meta. Now going to the terminal, I already have Consul 01, Consul 02, 03, 04, 05 and 06 that are available. So as part of the first step, let's go ahead and start the 01, 02 and 03 that will be working as a primary voter based nodes. Now under the consul.d, I already have added the required configuration. So for 01, you see the zone is 1. For 02, the zone is 2. And for 03, the zone is 3. So let's go ahead and start our Consul agent based on our configuration directory. So we'll start the first one. We'll start the second one. And we'll start the third one over here. So in the Consul 01, if you do Consul members, you should see that there are 3 servers that are up and running. And if you'll do Consul operator raft list peers, you should see that the Consul 01 is acting as a leader and Consul 02 and Consul 03 has a state of follower, and all of these 3 are voters. So here the voter is true. So this is the first step. Second step is that we have to go ahead and set the appropriate autopilot feature. So now once the 3 servers are up and running, the next step is to go ahead and update the autopilot configuration. So the configuration that we'll be adding is redundancy zone tag and the name is zone. So that is associated with this highlighted one under the node meta. So in the Consul 01, if you do a Consul operator autopilot get config, here under the redundancy zone tag, it is empty right now. So let's go ahead and copy the set config command and I'll go ahead and paste it. So now if you do a get config under the redundancy zone, you should see zone as available. That's great. So our 01, 02, 03 are up and running and our autopilot feature is also enabled. So now we can go ahead and start 04, 05 and 06. So let's open up the 04. Let's do a cat on consul.hcl. So again here if you'll see for the 04 the zone is 1. So for 04 the zone is 1, so for zone 1 you have 01 and 04 that are available. For the 05 the zone is 2 and for the 06 the zone is 3. And also note that along with the node underscore meta, for the non-voting servers, we have explicitly added an autopilot configuration where the redundancy zone tag is set to zone. So now let's go ahead and start our agent. We'll start it for 04. We'll start it for 05. We'll start it for 06. So from the Consul 01, let's go ahead and do a Consul members. So now you should see that there are 6 total instances of Consul that are running. And if you do operator raft list -peers, you should see that the first 3 servers, which are 1, 2 and 3, are the voter servers and the bottom three, which are 4, 5 and 6, are the non-voter servers. Great. So our setup is up and running. So now let's go ahead and stop the Consul 02 and see on what would happen. So within the Consul 02, I'll go ahead and I'll do a Control C. So now let's go back and let's go ahead and run the Consul operator raft list -peers. So now you'll see that the Consul 05 has taken over. So within the voter, it is now considered as true. That's great. So I hope at a high level overview, you understood the basics of redundancy zones. Now tomorrow, let's assume that the Consul 02 has started to run and the Consul 05 goes down. So let's see on what would happen there. So for the Consul 02, let's go ahead and start our agent here. So if you do a Consul operator raft list peers, for the Consul 02, currently it is a non-voter server primarily because the 05 has taken up. Now let's assume that the 05 goes down. So let me do a Control C for the 05. And let's run the raft list peers command yet again. And now you see, as soon as the 05 went down, the 02 has taken over. Alright, so 05 went down, 02 has taken over. So this ensures that there is a consistency between the availability zones. So if a 02 goes down, 05 can take over. Tomorrow 02 is up and running, and if a 05 goes down, 02 can take over for that. That's great. So I hope at a high level overview, you understood the basics of achieving the fault tolerance with the help of redundancy zone feature.